Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today, we got Brandon.
Hello.
We're here to talk about games and things.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Hey, but you got the new games that you wanted this week.
I did.
So that's
I did.
good. Silksong and everybody's golf hot shots.
You're doing that on purpose.
What?
You're doing that on purpose.
Doing what on purpose?
You said golf weird.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I'm going to say it even weirder than normal this week because I burned my tongue pretty badly. So a lot of this week's conversation is going to be weird. And it's going to sound like I have a lisp. But when I don't, I hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you got the new shiny fun thing, so you are up.
I do.
Ready.
So I'm going to talk about Hot Shots Golf first because fuck you, that's why. Yeah. So Everybody's Golf Hot Shots released on what was the date? Hold on. What was the date? September 4th. There we go. It's pretty good. So I paid $40 for it, and it definitely feels like a more budget title. Or there's 10 courses, very limited online modes and whatnot. But there's still a lot to do with what is here, and it's kind of a very big grind, as the Hot Shots Golf games normally are, to unlock characters. So I think because of that, it's fine. Like, you get a lot of content for your $40, and I've been enjoying my time playing the game. I mean, it's the normal Hot Shots Golf, control scheme, or Mario Golf control scheme, depending on which one you want to, count it as. And it works really well, and it plays very fun. I'm playing on PC, so I haven't run into some of the issues that other people have reported, which has knocked this game down a peg for a lot of people. Those issues, which I will share with you, because it's very important to know these issues ahead of time, because they are legitimately game-breaking. If you play the World Tour mode, which is required to unlock characters, I've seen people report on the PS5 version of the game that sometimes it will glitch out in a way that makes it so that the CPU just will never hit the ball again. And so you cannot continue the story. It just breaks the whole thing, essentially. Which is very bad, as you would expect. Yeah. And not good at all, and it makes it so the game is pretty much unplayable. If you wanted to get any more characters, you're shit out of luck. If you wanted to progress the story, you're shit out of luck. If you want to do any of those things, you're shit out of luck. So you basically have a doorstop for a game, unless you just want to use the same two characters you have at the start of the game when you first booted it, which is not good. Lucky for me, I have not run into that issue on PC, so that's one good thing. However, I have noticed that it seems a little iffy. I've seen a lot of people reporting crashes. I've seen a lot of people saying, hey, this game is not running the best for me at all. And I've had no problems. The worst thing I've had this game do is drop some frames and send my CPU to 78 degrees Celsius, which is a ridiculously hot, that's just too hot. Normally, my CPU, when I'm playing big, intensive games, sticks around 50 or 60. I've never seen it jump that high ever. So that's kind of wild, and that definitely shows that there's some kind of issue with the game itself. That's probably also the reason why it's not running very well on handheld PCs at all. So there's that. But other than that, I have had no issue with the game. And it's been really fun for me to play. But other people have had a lot of issues with the game. So I'm just letting everyone know ahead of time. Because you might have no issues like me. Or you might have all of the issues like several other people I've seen. So the game's currently sitting at mixed reviews. At only 599 reviews. And a lot of people just can't run the game for some odd reason, or it crashes, or that sort of thing. And then, like I said, on the console side, you have those PS5 reports that I just informed you of as well. So it's a little iffy. The actual game that is here, though, is really fun. If you don't have any of those problems I mentioned, it's very fun. It's very good. It's very Hot Shots Golf. It's very Mario Golf, old school. It is exactly what I wanted from a new Hot Shots Golf game. So, yay! That's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
good.
have rather enjoyed my time with it. I've only spent like 6 hours or so, but it's been a good 6 hours. So, enjoyable.
Yeah, that's good.
Moving on from that, I'll talk about the game that everyone and their grandmother has been playing this week, and that is Silksong. That game that, took 7 years to come out and several people thought would never release. Well, it's out now.
Yeah.
And
Surprise.
let's not talk about the game yet. Let's talk about the impact on gaming as a whole that this game had, which is actually insane. So I have seen more whiny little bitch-ass developers than I could shake a stick at this last week, talking about how this game being $20 devalues their work and Team Cherry should be ashamed of themselves. And to those developers, I say, go fuck yourself. Quite literally. Go fuck yourself. Maybe if your games that you made cough Ubisoft, cough other companies that charge ridiculous amounts for games, actually had some fucking substance to them, then people wouldn't be flocking to $20 indie titles, and they wouldn't be making you look like little bitches. But they are, because you don't make good games, and it's your own fault, and you should do better. Moving on from that, though, let's talk about what else Silksong did to the industry that I've only seen happen one other time in my lifetime when being part of the gaming community. And that is every single platform crashed because of the release of this game. Every single platform that you could play this on took a nosedive and just stopped working because people were trying to get on and buy and play this game all at once. I have never seen that happen aside from one other time, and that was when Grand Theft Auto 5 released its online mode. And that is the only other time in my lifetime that I've ever seen a video game destroy every single storefront in existence from merely existing. So seeing that happen in real time, watching Steam die, watching PlayStation Network die, watching Xbox as well as Xbox Game Pass, and the eShop all die at the same time the second this game released was insane. And the fact that a game made by 4 people was able to do that is absolute madness. Yeah, I legitimately, good for them. Good for them. It's very impressive that they were able to bring the industry to its knees.
Yeah, absolutely. It means they got something worth buying. So
yes, and now I can actually talk about the game. So I posted a little screenshot to you that said, the tutorial for Hollow Knight versus the tutorial for Silksong. And in case you didn't get the joke is the tutorial for Silksong was the entirety of the game Hollow Knight. Because Silksong is really fucking hard. Yeah,
that's what I heard. They're putting out
really
a patch
hard.
raise the difficulty a little bit.
I like this game. And I have had trouble with this game. There are some tips that I have. But I will just say there is a crest early on in the game that if you get it, will make your game a lot easier, in my opinion. Because I think a lot of the diagonal pogoing, which is a very big part of Silksong, especially since there is an entire biome, the only way you can traverse it is by bouncing on plants to get to another plant to get to another plant. And since the way you bounce in this game is not just a direct down, it's down and to the right, so you have to get that diagonal bounce every single time. If you want to play this like Hollow Knight, there's a way to do so, but I'm not going to tell you how. But there's a way to do so. if you want a tip and want to play it the way it was meant to be played in the first place, which is with this diagonal bounce, just give yourself like a half second after you bounce before you do it again. Because I found that when I did that, and like timed out the bounces in between one another, it made it a lot easier to not miss my jumps when doing so. And it made the game a lot more fun, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
This game has got some things in it that are just mean. I will say that right now. There are some elements in this game that legitimately, I think the developers looked at this and said, I'm going to be an asshole today. And I don't want to spoil any of those elements for you, but there are legitimately moments where, oh, finally. And then it wasn't, oh, finally, essentially. Yeah. And I'll just leave it at that. But, yeah, this game can be very difficult and is a blast to play. This game is great. I really don't have any complaints about it.
That's good. How much time have you gotten into it so far?
So this one, I'm about 8 hours in.
Okay.
I've done a lot of exploring, and much like Hollow Knight, I've gotten lost a lot and had to go to a completely different place and turn around and kind of go explore somewhere else. So I've explored a lot of biomes that I probably shouldn't have, but now I'm on the right path, and I know that for sure. And yeah, it's very fun. But much like your Castlevania or, Metroid, it takes a while to get going, and you really need to get those upgrades first.
Mm-hmm.
And Metroidvania, just like any of those games. And I think the game itself doesn't really become as good as people are saying it is, or were hoping it was, until like maybe 3 or 4 hours in. And granted, I know that sounds like a lot. However, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be playing this for the first time, who are not going to give a shit because it's Silksong. It's essentially a phenomenon, It's like being a part of something at this point, because a lot of people thought this game was never going to release. And to those people, that's totally fine. But I think looking at this subjectively, is that the word I'm looking for?
More objectively, depending on how you're looking at it.
I'm looking at it from like a critique standpoint. That's like anyone could look at this if they like thought for a second and were like, oh yeah, that actually is very true. And basically what I'm trying to say is the game does have a very slow start to everything in a way that does feel very much like you're kind of just going through the motions until you hit that point where it goes, oh, okay, all right, this is the game. Okay, I get it now. Oh, shit. But that is not something that you would necessarily notice if you're just wanting to play this because, holy shit, Silksong's out. I cannot believe it. But if you're looking at it more from like a critic standpoint, you could be like, okay, the beginning of this is kind of like, whatever. But if you're not looking at it from that direction, I mean, it's just a really good game overall. I think it is, in general, a difficult but mostly fair game. I do think it is front-loaded with difficulty at the beginning in some cases. And I do think people that are maybe not as inclined to be really good at these games, like your Dark Souls, like your Hollow Knight even, but your Hollow Knight in the like challenge mode version, and the like Pantheon elements of Hollow Knight, all that stuff. This is definitely made for the people that like fucking 112% at Hollow Knight or some dumb shit, as opposed to the people that played it casually. And I do think a lot of people that played Hollow Knight casually are going into this game expecting, yay, more fun like Hollow Knight was, and they're getting their shit kicked in, and then they're going, what the fuck? But the people that like, put their all into Hollow Knight are like, yeah, this is what I expected to happen, essentially,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it's good overall. So hopefully the people at large, end up enjoying, the whole thing that's there.
Mm-hmm.
How long is the game? Do you know?
Well, let me just look, shall I?
Mm-hmm.
So I know there is a trophy, I think, for beating in 7 hours.
Okay.
I know completionist is 45 and a half, and main story
Okay.
is 22 hours.
Okay. It's a pretty decent size.
Yeah, pretty decent size.
Yeah, that's good. I'm sure a lot of people are like thrilled this is finally real.
Yeah, I agree. I think people are going to be happy.
At least for now. You know how it is. They'll be happy for a few days, and then it'll be on to the new thing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of new things now. Plenty of
There
new
are,
shiny
and I
things.
mean, we got tons of them coming in the future too. So, like, you know.
Yeah. So we will see. What else do you have to say about it? Anything else?
No, I just think it's a very good game, and it's a case of like, hey, they actually kind of delivered. So,
Okay. That's great. Anything else to talk about otherwise?
um,
Not a
give me
trick
a second.
question.
I know it's not. I know it's not a trick question, but I do have some things I wanted to talk about.
Uh-huh.
Like for instance, some of the upcoming games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still super excited for Silent Hill, and there's been a lot more coming out about that lately. So
Mm-hmm.
people have got a hold of it, and again, we've gotten even more confirmation now that legitimately it's a Unreal Engine 5 game that doesn't run like shit, and that is really impressive.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty impressive just on that. That's all you have to say. That's
Yeah,
impressive on its own.
that's really all I need to say. That's really all I
Yeah.
need to say. Like 60 FPS, no drops whatsoever on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Base, not PS5 Pro, just base PS5. So that's fucking awesome. Um damn it, I just started talking about FPS and there was something else I wanted to say about Hollow Knight. I have to double back to Hollow Knight Silksong for a second. Sorry. I'm going over there. I'm going back.
Okay.
Hollow Knight Silksong, when this game first released, I could not purchase it on Steam or any of the other places. I mentioned that already. But I was able to download it via Xbox using the Windows app, which was a really
Uh-huh.
weird workaround that actually worked. But I got it installed on my Xbox. So I first started playing Hollow Knight on my Xbox. And I noticed something that was actually kind of weird. I could run it at 120 frames a second as well as 120 hertz on my monitor and on my TV, which is just fucking cool. And that's probably the smoothest I've ever played a console game at. That was actually nuts. I hadn't experienced that yet on a console, so that was really fucking cool. That's one of the other things I wanted to mention about Hollow Knight, because yeah, first I was like, this feels a little when I was playing at 60 hertz, and then I like looked at, and I had the option to play at 120 hertz, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that, and holy shit, was it smooth! And I've heard that there's also 120 hertz mode on the Switch too, and I would
Mm-hmm.
love to see that in handheld because I bet that shit is buttery smooth.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Probably the perfect game for it.
That's it. That's all I
That's
have to
that.
say. That's it.
Okay.
That's that.
Anything else otherwise?
No. I think it's your turn now.
Okay. Let's see. Well, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Star-Crossed World. I think I'm like finished with it right now. So since last week, I finished the last like areas up in the main game. Those are still great. I finished up the kind of I don't know what to call them, secret areas of the first game. Uh, those were a little bit tedious. I forgot about them. But they were fine. But then I did finish up the rest of the DLC levels. Those were still really great and still incredibly enjoyable. So I finished up those. Got to play the final boss. That was a lot of fun. It was kind of nice what they ended up doing with it. It definitely feels more like a definitive final boss than what you have in like the normal game. So there's that. The only really new DLC content that I didn't really play around with was the Coliseum. I did do like the normal Coliseum levels that they have for like the main game, but then you unlock like a final Coliseum level for like the DLC, which even the game warns you. They're like, hey, don't fuck around with this. And I'm not in the mood to fuck around with it, so I'm not going to. I think even one of the reviews that I saw said that it was probably one of the most difficult things you'll play all year. And I'm like, I just don't have the mental capacity for this right now. I'm sure it's great. But Kirby Coliseums are not hugely fun for me, so I'm not like banging down the doors to get it. And plus the rewards, just one of those like because the game adds like a bunch of those like figures to collect. And so like the reward for the Coliseum's like an extra figure, and I'm like, ooh, ooh. So not like really pressing there, but maybe someday I'll go through and do it. But overall, I really enjoyed the DLC. I think it's a lot of fun. I like the new DLC levels quite a bit, and it seemed like it added a reasonable amount of content for what you're getting, and plus you get the nice upgrade in graphics and all that stuff. Um, so that's my final thought. Still really good. Still really recommend it if you've not played. If you definitely have not played Kirby in the Forgotten Land, like get that game. It's one of the best Kirby games that exists. And Star Crossed World, if you have the Switch 2, it's a nice upgrade. Gives you some upgraded looks and some new levels, and that's a lot of fun. So that is that. The other thing that I played this week, which actually I've been playing for about 2 weeks now, but I just didn't talk about it last week because I was not ready to yet. Assassin's Creed 2 went on sale, like super sale, so I ended up picking that up. Yeah, so I finally got to do it. So I've been exploring Florence, Ezio, which is really cool. So I got to see a lot of the places I saw in real life now in this video game, which is really neat. So
that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. When the game starts, you start on this bridge, and I'm like, I know exactly where he is. Like, not even like a second guess. Like, is he here or here? I'm like, no, I know like exactly where he is. Like, to like the exact point in my memory. Like, I was standing here. Like, I know this. I thought that was really cool. Like the big church in Florence is in the game. Like, and you get to explore around that and climb up on that. That's really cool. One thing that I actually thought was really neat about that was because I take a lot of pictures when I travel, and one of the pictures that I thought came out really well on this trip, like one that I look at, and I'm like, this is a professional looking photo, was a photo of this church. And so when I was on a trip, I would send it to people and be like, hey, this is where I am right now. And then I saw it in the game, and I was trying to like recreate the exact same angle. I got pretty close. I mean, obviously there's a little difference in terms of like the viewing height, and the camera lenses between like what you're seeing in the game and versus there. But I got pretty close. But I was like, oh, the bell tower that's here seems like it's taller than it is in real life. And so I went back to my old photos, and it was like, no, it's they actually got it perfect. Like the perspective in my mind was different than it is in real life. But they got the perspective well. So it looks really good. That was really neat. So that's all been going really well in terms of like the setting and that kind of stuff. I really like that. I've been enjoying that. I did play, I don't even remember, it may have been on the podcast. I don't even know. I did play Assassin's Creed 1 back in the day. So I did play that. I never played 2 or any of the other ones. And I enjoyed 1, but it obviously was a bit simplistic and had its own issues. 2 definitely seems to fix a lot of them from my recollection. But it definitely still has some issues. You can tell that this is like an early 2000s game just from the dialogue. This has some of the most dated dialogue I've seen in a video game in so long. It's almost comical. Just because this is back. Assassin's Creed 2 came out in like the edgy era of video games, where everything's got to be like, oh yeah, so cool. And it definitely talks like that quite a bit. Like there was one point where like it was so cringy, where I don't know, Ezio's mom was like, what have you been doing? What have you been busy with? And like Ezio's just been like, I've been busy, whatever. And her mom's like, he's like busy with vaginas. And I'm like, okay, so hip.
What the fuck?
Yeah, seriously. I was like, I was not expecting this kind of dialogue in this game.
This doesn't sound real.
No, it doesn't. It's not conversational.
I have to find this now. I'm going to look this shit up. This is Assassin's Creed 2?
Assassin's Creed 2, it's like the beginning of the game. I think it's when he meets his mom, if I remember. I think it's like their first conversation. And I was like, oh, okay. That's good. Whatever. There's been some other ones too, and I can't think of it. The vaginas one stuck out the most to me. I was just like, this is just so odd that they kept this in this game. But that was kind of like I said, it was just that was that era back then. It was like so edgy, so cool. Look at the things that you can do in this game. And so definitely they made some stuff a little bit better with this game, like in terms of like the parkour and the movement. Like Ezio is really fluid, like in terms of getting around. You want to get somewhere, he does it really well. But the problem is he does it too well sometimes. Like this game, in terms of like modern gameplay stuff, it's just not quite where you would expect it to be. Like you just have your finger just like a millimeter of an angle off of where it is, and Ezio launches himself into oblivion, and you're just like, ugh. And even worse, if he doesn't die, then you're like, okay, well, let me restart this climb up again. And keep on trying to like navigate whatever acrobatic challenge you're trying to get through. So that can be kind of frustrating sometimes. I've definitely had to repeat some things a couple times because Ezio will just kind of launch himself in a slightly wrong direction and not make the jump like he's supposed to, and then all of a sudden you're back to the beginning again. If he dies, you hit a checkpoint, which would put you in the middle, but if he doesn't, then you're on the ground and you have to kind of restart your climb. So there's that. And sometimes too it's a bit obtuse in terms of figuring out which direction to go. Like it will be like, hey, you got to go and do this. Then you'll be like, well, where am I going? Sometimes it'll be like highlighted on the screen, sometimes it'll be on the mini map, sometimes if you don't really know where you're looking, you're just kind of guessing. And so that's kind of one of those dated mechanics that just takes some getting used to too. And then the combat's just kind of a bit simplistic. It's just really like time your hits with the animations and go from there. I mean, it seems to work, but whatever it is, what it is. Game or graphics wise, I'm like the landscapes and stuff look pretty good for the system, but I really like mentally forgot how PlayStation 3 games looked in terms of like characters and stuff. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen a
Yeah,
character.
I'm looking
Yeah,
through this video. I also can't find that clip, but I'm trying to find it.
yeah, I'll have to look and see if I can find it too.
Was it when he
And
was out of the Animus, or what?
no, it was when he's in the Animus, and it's Ezio, and it's like I want to say it's when he meets his mom for the first time in the game. So it's like the very beginning of the game. Like you go and do like a couple missions, and then one of your missions is like go and meet your mom, and then she's like Ezio.
Oh, this is definitely not his mom because he looks like he's about to have sex with her. So this is the wrong one. So what mission is this?
Let's see. Hold on. I think I found it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, I got it. Sending you the link right now. Where are you? I'll put it in general. Mhm.
It just doesn't sound real. Like I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like a real thing.
I had the framing a little off, but the context is still the same.
Okay.
So there's the video. I'll let you watch it, and then you could react.
What the fuck? This doesn't sound real.
It's just it's very out of right field. Like they could have, because the mom's like, oh, you should find some more outlets, and Ezio is like, oh, I have plenty of outlets, and she's like, I mean, besides vaginas. Like it's just very like out of left field. Like yeah, you could have put any dialogue in there otherwise, and
Yeah,
probably still yeah.
I literally do not remember this, and hearing that was like a fucking flashbang going off. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was like I'm like I don't like I'm like I forgot about this edgy era of video games. Like it is very like very blunt, and it like I had flashbacks to like GameStop conference. Like that's what it made me think of. I'm like this just seems like something that they would be like at GameStop and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, so cool." Like so pushing the limits of what they can do in video games. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's like a very different world back then. And especially too because the game otherwise tries to take itself like very seriously. So when you have like dialogue like this, you're just like, yeah, this is strange.
Yeah, it is.
Um, so yeah, there's that kind of aspect of it. Which is that, but otherwise, I mean, I've been really enjoying the gameplay. I've been kind of exploring around and kind of doing challenges and stuff as I see them, which has been a lot of fun. There's a lot of variety in challenges. I mean, it's very much an Ubisoft game, like obviously. Um, so it's like go into your perch and get more of the map, and then go and do the activities that are there, and a lot of the same activities are repeated over and over again, and rinse and repeat until you finish whatever objective they want you to do. So it hasn't quite bored me out yet, but I've really been enjoying like the different kind of aspects that they have there because you have a bunch of exploring in Florence, and then you kind of have your own little villa town that you're kind of supporting and growing, which has been, I think that's kind of like an enjoyable side quest kind of thing. Then you got like some side missions in the town to go and collect things, or in the city, I guess, to go and collect things, which are kind of fun. And then you're working on your main missions and kind of progressing the story that way too. So I mean, it has a nice kind of like challenge reward system that's kind of going on. So I've been enjoying all of that. Yeah, so that aspect I've been having a really good time with. I think Ezio is kind of a fun character, regardless of like the strange dialogues. So,
Mhm.
I've been enjoying all of that stuff. I know you said you played all these Assassin's Creed games. Did you like finish them?
Uh, okay, so not
Well, this one at least, I
100%,
guess.
but I finished two. I
Uh
finished
huh.
Brotherhood. I finished the first game. I finished three. I finished Black Flag. I finished I think Origins was the last one I like finished, like saw to the credits roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Um so yeah. The last one I like is weird because it's like I liked one and two and then Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Revelations. I thought Revelations was dog shit. I think
Okay.
Brotherhood is still the best game
Mm-hmm.
out of like normal Assassin's Creed. And then I think Origins is fucking awesome, but only Origins. I don't like the other RPG ones because they got super convoluted and bloated and just not fun.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how far I'm going down this Assassin's Creed like path. Um, so we'll see.
So
I mean, I
I
definitely.
have a few hot takes for this
Uh,
Assassin's Creed path.
yeah.
Let me figure out what the titles are because they have so many fucking Assassin's Creed games. I don't remember the names of some of them. So let me just see if I can get this right. So give me a second. Assassin's Creed game list. Let's do that. All
Good
right.
one's saved if you can't find one. So.
All right. So I already mentioned Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and Brotherhood. Those are my favorites. I think Revelations is dog shit. I think 3 is dog shit. I think Black Flag is very good. A little bit bloated at times, but very good.
Uh-huh.
Rogue, I don't remember. Let me see what this is. I did not play Rogue, actually. That was a late PS3 release, and I didn't play
Okay.
it. Unity. This is my hot take. I think Unity is really good, and
Was
no one
Unity
played it.
the Greek one?
Yes, Unity was the one. No, not Greek. Unity is the one that takes place during. Oh God.
Egypt?
No. This is still
China.
normal Assassin's Creed. This is the
Oh.
French Revolution in Paris.
Oh, okay.
This is the one that was so glitchy that everyone made fun of it. If it works, it's very good. That's how I feel about Unity. Like Unity is very good now that it actually works on those systems. So
Mhm.
yeah. Syndicate is very good, but most of the very good parts come from its DLC, which has to do with Jack the Ripper, which is awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Origins is my favorite of the RPGs. I did not like Odyssey. I did not like Valhalla. I did not play Mirage. I have not played Shadows. Looking at some of these other ones, Liberation HD, which I believe is the PSP game, is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was the Vita game, I believe.
Oh, Vita. Okay, that one's
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
The
I
one
do
that was
recommend
like New
playing that one.
Orleans or whatever. The woman
Hmm.
assassin. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
And other than that, the 2D Assassin's Creed games are actually very fun as well. So
Oh, good.
I like Assassin's Creed games to a point. The
Hmm.
point is pretty much 2017 is when I was like, all right, I'm done with this series. That's when
Yeah.
it died for me.
I'm honestly amazed that Ubisoft was able to maintain these game releases almost yearly for what, almost 20 years at this point. Um, that's pretty impressive. Like, there's just so much, but yeah, it's just definitely like a glutton of them right now. There's too many.
Yeah,
Mm.
I do think like the original kind of Assassin's Creed games are very well made.
Yeah.
Like for games that were released a year apart from each other, they were fun. They were
Hmm.
good for the most
Yeah.
part. My hatred for 3 aside, I just think 3 is boring. Like, it's not a bad game. It's just boring as fuck. And it's pretty much just a prequel to Black Flag. So,
Yeah. I
you
did
know.
read Reddit seemed to think the game got better as time went on with like the patches and stuff, but
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
patches can fix the main character being a literal boring ass slab of meat with no personality whatsoever. I don't think patches can fix that.
I mean, that does seem like something patches could fix. Whether or not they wanted to fix, that's a different question.
Redoing the entire character's voice acting and backstory and gameplay, and nope, patches cannot fix making a new game. But they did patch it, actually, because they released Black Flag afterwards, which is just a better version of 3. It takes the
Mhm.
best parts of 3 and expands on it, and then makes it a better game by giving you characters that actually you want to play as.
Yeah, that is an enjoyable thing. Yeah, but I don't know how far I'm going to go down this Assassin's Creed path. It may just be 2. I mean, I bought the Ezio collection, so
I would
inherently I have 2 Brotherhood and
recommend at
Revelations.
least playing Brotherhood. Brotherhood is still my favorite. Like, it's
Mhm.
still the best in my opinion.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm playing the Switch version on the Switch too.
Okay.
Um,
How is that
which
holding up?
it seems to hold up well. It's frame locked at 30, so there's that,
Okay.
but it's stable. Doesn't seem to have any issues there. A little sluggish on the menus sometimes, I would say.
Hmm.
But I think that's just the game. I actually don't think it's. I'm not sure if it's the port, but I think it's just the game.
Okay.
Um, I think part of it's just like the weird animations that they do, just are kind of slow at loading up. Um, but otherwise, it seems to run pretty well. So I've not
Okay.
run into any issues in that regard. I've not run into freezing or any frame rate issues. Like I said, it seems to run pretty stable. I think there was some issues initially at launch when the system came out for like some compatibility stuff, but as far as I can tell, they're not. I've not run into them. So I don't know if it was kind of more of a specific issue or something, but I've not had any issues with it doing
Okay.
anything. It just runs really well. Um, it just looks fugly because it's a game from like 2007. So, um, yeah, that's it. Like it's otherwise I've been really enjoying it. Like it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so it's kind of like I said, some things are really nice about going back to games like this. It's kind of like nostalgia trip, but then like some other things are just like, okay, yeah, I've not played a game like this in a while. So yeah, just
Yeah.
either just like some quality of life stuff or some like we were just kind of joking about the dialogue stuff.
Hmm.
Um but otherwise, I mean, yeah, it plays really well. So, and like I said, I've really been enjoying like Ezio's character and kind of like the kind of like the story-ish stuff that they have there
Hmm.
so far. And when he doesn't launch himself off a building, he actually runs like really smoothly. Like I'm like, I wish Prince of Persia would play like this, but then I'm also like, and I also wish that he
Oh.
had the Prince of Persia rewind powers because those would be great right now.
All right. Here's some info for you. There
Yeah.
is a new Prince of Persia game that came out a week or two ago called oh god, what is it called? Rogue Prince of Persia. It is
Hmm.
made by the creators of Dead Cells, and it
Uh-huh.
is fucking awesome. Highly recommend checking out Rogue Prince of Persia.
Uh-huh.
It's literally a Prince of Persia game in 2025 made by an indie dev team, and it's awesome.
That's great.
Like, I
Yeah.
know it's Ubisoft published and yada yada yada, but the
Hmm.
developers are the people that originally were the creators of Dead Cells. So like, yeah, it's still an indie team.
Yeah. I mean, Ubisoft didn't even make the original Prince of Persia anyways. They bought the IP at some point. So
Hmm.
it's not like you can really be like beholden to the creators because it's not like the current Prince of Persia IP holders, Ubisoft, are not the original creators anyways.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, no, I hope they're very creative. I'll just take a look at it. I liked I kind of liked the first Prince of Persia, Sands of Time.
Oh, I liked Sands
Um
of Time. I really like that one actually.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I liked Assassin's Creed better, just because I liked.
As time has gone on, I think I like Sands of Time more because it's
Yeah.
just simple. It's
Hmm.
very linear and not open world, and I really appreciate more nowadays a linear experience that
Yeah, yeah.
I can get in there, I can have the experience, I can be done with it, and it was a really good time, and then I'm done. That's
Hmm.
kind of how I feel.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think they did a good job like bringing it back. Like I said, there's some things I really enjoyed about it, but there's some things I really don't, and I really don't remember exactly what they were right now. I think it was um some of the puzzly stuff I want to say, or like the
Well, the
combat.
question
I know
I
the
have
combat
for
wasn't
you
great though.
is, do you only like Sands of Time, or do you like Warrior Within and shit like that as well? That got so edgy and hilarious, early 2000s
Warrior Within,
edge.
I actually did not like that much. It wasn't because of the edginess, really. Like
Hmm.
that was not my issue with it. It was more the, I think if I remember, it went more combat heavy, which was not the best part
Yes,
of that game. Uh,
yes.
and that was more my issue with it.
Hmm.
The Two Thrones seemed to fix that a bit more. I enjoyed that game better than Warrior Within.
Ah,
But Sands of Time was still the best of the three.
I might
I was
I
gonna
might
say.
be misremembering it, but I thought Two Thrones actually did it worse because it tried to overcomplicate where Warrior Within did. But I might be misremembering, and it might have it backwards. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Two Thrones fixed a lot of the
Mm,
overcompensation they did with Warrior Within. It was a
mm,
bit lighter, but still kind of tried to keep it more on like the not quite as like hardcore edgy as Warrior Within was. It was kind of more of like a balance between the two. So that was good. And it brought back more of like the kind of acrobatic challenges, which I think
hmm.
Prince of Persia did really well with. But just it was just kind of it tried to do too much still. And I think that was kind of the issue there. Like Sands of Time had, I think, the perfect balance between like combat, gameplay, and like acrobatics. And every sequel since then really just didn't quite have the right mix.
I see.
Um, at least that's my take on it. I mean, I don't think any of them are necessarily bad games,
Hmm.
but I just think that some are better than others. Really, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I would probably put them all like reasonably in the good category. Not great, not bad, but all reasonably good. That's what I would say. Um, yeah, but it's very clear though, playing Assassin's Creed 2, kind of like where the Prince of Persia kind of initial ideas kind of led into Assassin's Creed, kind of led into the evolution of like where Assassin's Creed went to. Because
Hmm.
if I remember, Assassin's Creed 1 originally started as like a Prince of Persia, kind of Prince of Persia kind of led off into Assassin's Creed 1. It like spun off into that. So, um, which makes sense. But yeah, so that's kind of where my thought is on it. So, got to explore Florence some more. I think you go to Venice at some point in Assassin's Creed 2. I've read as well. So, I'll have thoughts on that as well because I was also in Venice on my trip. So, I can kind of see what things are there and kind of compare to that if I ever get to that.
Nice.
But at least now until whatever I'm playing next, which at this point is probably Pokemon. Unless there is
Mhm.
in fact a Nintendo Direct with a Shadow Drop this week and something's magically coming out this month that's going to pull my attention away. Um,
I see. I see.
but that's where that
So
is. Right?
I picked up Scarlet, or do I have Violet? Which one do I have? I have the purple one, Violet. Yeah,
Violet.
picked up Violet recently, and I was
Uh-huh.
playing it, and it's really good on Switch too. But like that's it. I've just been playing it to help Katie out because she's trying to finish the Pokedex, and I
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
be able to get the ones that she couldn't get. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that game's like night and day on the Switch too. Like they did a really good
it
job with that
really is.
merch. Yeah.
I saw the. Did we talk about the Sunflora? Or
If
was
we
it
did, it was
someone
a
else I
while.
talked to? So
Huh?
I saw the video of the Sunflora from the original Switch version and then the Switch 2 version, and literally on the Switch they're running at like 2 FPS, and they're
Oh yeah.
full frames on Switch 2, and it's really funny.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the other thing that really points out in this game, like now that it's working, like you can really see kind of the other areas that they really half-assed it. Like, okay, well the frame rate's better in the classroom, but the kids' like animations are still in sync. Like,
Hmm.
it's it's like a lot of the stuff was just laziness.
Yep.
Um,
And you
and
know what?
that
Looking at
hmm,
some other stuff, because I've seen some leaked footage for the new Pokemon game,
yeah, yeah.
it's very obvious it's still just laziness.
Oh yeah. There's something I just read about the new Pokemon game the other day, and I was like,
It's so funny.
no.
I saw the Houndoom. I don't know. Have you seen the Houndoom fucking video from the new Pokemon game? I don't know if you've looked
I
at
haven't
any of
watched
the leaks
any
or
real
anything.
new videos
Oh
lately, so
my god, it's so funny. They're in the middle of a conversation, and then the camera just zooms out, and then boom, goes really fast all the way up to the top of a fucking like building, all in one foul swoop. And it looks like it was done in like Source Filmmaker. It's so poorly made. It looks like some skibbity toilet bullshit, and it's so awful how badly done it is.
I
It's
know.
so funny, and it's like you are a multi-billion-dollar franchise. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Spend some time like make a really quality product. And I think the problem is they know that they don't really need to, and that's kind of
Yep.
until they get to the point where like they actually like legitimately need to make good stuff, like they're just
Mhm.
gonna keep doing what they're doing. Which is unfortunate. Because
Yep.
I think that's one of the things that made Arceus so good was because there really wasn't any expectations in it. The team kind of got to do what they wanted to do, and they did some really cool stuff with it.
Yeah, and now you look at ZA, and ZA looks like dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even buying ZA. Like, at least at the beginning, it's not
Mhm.
on my radar at all. It's not on my list. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'll still get it. Like, it's still one of my most
I will
exciting games. But
eventually, but it is not anywhere near the top of my list for anything coming out this year.
yeah, speaking of things that I'm not buying, I've never circled back around to this conversation from a couple weeks ago. I did actually start to watch the Kirby Air Riders Direct, and I got so bored after 10 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "I've seen enough," and I just like turned it off. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not. This is not a day one purchase for me in any way, shape, or form." And maybe I'll pick it up. I think we did kind of the same thing that we talked about then. Like maybe I'll pick it up down the road, like when it's on sale, or if
Boy,
there's
it sure doesn't look like a $70 game now, does it?
no, I mean, I didn't think it did in the first place. Like, I didn't think it was a $70 game when they announced it, just because of my recollection of the original Kirby Air Ride. Um, and the direct did show me, like, I mean, obviously there's a lot of love that's been poured into this game, but
Hmm.
not a lot of stuff that entices me to want to spend
You know what
$70
my
on.
thought on that game was?
Hmm.
The Battle Royale mode should just be free to play.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Hmm.
So I'm sure there's enough people that will want to play it that they won't need to go that route. But um, yeah, and also too, I really don't understand like why we're releasing two mascot racers in 1 year. That
3
just
if you
really,
count Sonic.
yeah. Well, but I mean, these two are from Nintendo, like first party, which is
I
just
know,
kind of
I know, I know.
strange. Yeah, like space them out. You should just save one for like next year. I mean, and also too, it's like it's not like you're short of things to put out this year. Like you got like more things that you can shake a stick at.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So at least right now, my next definite purchase is going to be Pokemon Legends ZA.
Mm.
So there's that. I also realized too the other day I still have a single voucher to use, so I got to figure that out because it expires in like February. So I don't know what I'm going to get with it. I'm trying to see.
So my pick, actually, you know what? You have a single voucher, right?
Single voucher, yeah.
Is ZA part of it?
So that is one thing I considered. Like I could do
Get the
ZA on the
Switch
Switch
version
and then
and
do
buy
the
it for
upgrade.
$10 upgrade. Yep, that's what I was
Hmm.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's definitely a possibility. Because there's really not a lot of other stuff that's on there that I like. Because I already buy like most of the first party stuff. So there's that. I'm kind of waiting to see like if, kind of what the release windows look like for the stuff that's announced for Switch and the prices for them. Because I
Hmm.
could just use it like if Rhythm Heaven or say Tamagotchi Life if they come out in that time frame, which they might. So Nintendo generally does. Uh, pretty early releases in January and February. So, could potentially use it for something like that too. So I'll wait and see it after this direct and, kind of make my decision, from there. But yeah, that was one possibility I looked at. I think also too, I think I could do the same thing for Metroid. Would be another possibility as well. Do the Switch version and then do the upgrade. But it's a whole extra layer of things to do. So kind of see what things look like.
So, yeah, I still think the Switch with the upgrade, making it way cheaper, would be the better choice, unless they're like, hey, Metroid. And then again, I don't know how much you hear about Metroid, so.
I mean, I'm excited for Metroid. I'm excited. I'm probably more excited for Metroid than I am for Pokemon. But yeah, like I'll have to see. Like I said, but if ideally, if like Rhythm Heaven came out and it was $60,
I
then
was
that
gonna
would
say,
be
isn't that next year? Isn't that already confirmed for next year?
It's confirmed for next year, but we don't know when. So if it's too late in the year, not helpful. But if it's like their January release, perfect.
Okay.
So really kind of depends on what the time frame is for that. But if it's January and then it's like a $40 game, then fuck that. I'm not going to waste a voucher on that. So yeah,
my next purchase. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you can go for it.
My next purchase is Silent Hill. I'm buying Silent Hill F. On the 25th. Then on the 26th, I'm buying Clover Pit and Hotel Barcelona. And then everything else is whatever, basically, until further notice.
Yeah, I did see. So at least on the Nintendo side of things, the rumor train says that the Direct's getting announced tomorrow. I mean, realistically, this Direct's real. By the time you hear this episode, it should have already happened. So we'll see. We'll see what that ends up looking like.
Or there's no Direct and it was just some bullshit.
There's two people, two leakers with a pretty good track record that are both saying it's this week. So it's I believe it's probably happening. Also, too, like I said, Nintendo always does one in September. So odds are in your favor if you're going to predict one. It's probably a good week to do it. B, this week also kind of coincides with Mario's 40th anniversary. So also another reason to do it. There's that. And also, C, the most important one, like there are multiple titles that's from Nintendo's first party studios that need release dates before the end of the year. So it has to happen. And those are Metroid and Hyrule Warriors, both with 2025 release dates and both like
Hyrule Warriors has been confirmed to be at Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense. And also too, another thing, speaking of Tokyo Game Show, which you kind of mentioned, they usually like to do the direct before the Tokyo Game Show because stuff that's going to get announced, maybe at Tokyo Game Show. So they like to get those announcements out so then they can show the games and pull back the secrecy on them. So yeah, so very likely that a Nintendo Direct is imminent. So yeah, so we'll have that probably to talk about next week. So there is that. Also, actually, kind of not really news, but kind of I guess really talks about Switch stuff. Did you see Digital Foundry's like surprisingly very glowing review for
the Star Wars game? I did. Very impressive.
Yeah, I thought so too, because it seemed like it was really going toe to toe with the Xbox Series S.
Yes.
And sometimes exceeding it, sometimes coming close to it. So I think if there was any skepticism in terms of what the Switch 2 could do with existing games.
So interesting enough, that is a game that on Steam Deck runs like absolute ass. So it's kind of impressive what the Switch 2 can pull off with that one. Now, granted, we just need that same care being given by Nintendo as well to their games. That's my opinion on the whole thing. Just saying.
I mean, it's we've had this conversation in so many different ways, shapes, and forms over the last as long as we've been doing this podcast. But it really comes down to the developer. Are they going to put the time into optimizing it for the system? I mean, generally Nintendo does pretty good.
Not
generally Nintendo does pretty good.
Not this generation so far. But yeah, it's fine.
What are you talking about? Not this generation so far. Zelda, great. Both Zelda games, great. The Mario Party is good. They just made stupid design decisions, not optimization decisions. The game runs well. It's just stupid. Like that was their issue with that one. Kirby's great. Those kind of things. Donkey Kong, yeah, not as smooth as it should be. But like I said, that's probably from the fact that it started out as a Switch game and moved up and was probably bumped up 6 months in release, which probably caused some issues. That's where I think on that one. But Mario Kart World also runs really well. I mean, it's really just, I know you're hung up on Donkey Kong, but that's like one game out of like 10 that they had other issues. I mean, also like, what is that wheelchair basketball game that supposedly runs really well. And does some good graphical stuff.
I was gonna say it has like 3 fucking polygons. It doesn't look that good. What are you talking about?
I mean, but it doesn't look bad, and it uses some of the Switch 2 features. And also, too, people talk about that whatever the Switch 2 demo game is, and they said that does some really cool stuff too. I have not played it, but supposedly it does whatever cool things it does very well.
Wait, what?
I guess it does some graphical stuff that just is actually not really seen on really any other of the Switch games.
When you say
I
the
don't remember
demo
what.
game, what do you mean?
Well, that Switch 2, like whatever the Switch 2 Welcome game is. You know what I'm talking about? The one you almost spent
Oh, okay.
$18 on.
Okay,
Yeah.
that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that one does some cool stuff too. I have not played it, but supposedly does. Still not enough to make me want to pay $10 for
Yeah,
it. But
same.
but yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, it really seems like people who put the care in optimizing it do really well. Like Cyberpunk, obviously they did very well.
Yeah,
With their own
Cyberpunk did
ports.
really well. That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah. Actually, that did remind me of another thing that we did learn because Outlaws. Another reason why developers may be selecting for the game key cards as opposed to the regular Switch 2 cards. Ubisoft said they went with the game key card for Star Wars because it actually was not fast enough to run their game properly, which was something that I had not heard discussed beforehand. But apparently, when people broke down like the kind of the speed stuff, it makes sense. It's not quite as fast as the internal memory in terms of the transfer speeds. And Ubisoft, I guess their engine uses some sort of like direct streaming. So the cartridge itself was not enough to support it. Granted, no defense for something like Bravely Default HD. Like that game does not need like ridiculous streaming speeds off the cartridge. So yeah, you can't use that as a defense for something like that. But for some other games on the higher end of the spectrum, like they may have a legitimate reason not to have done it. So yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm just salty. It's fine. It's fine.
That's just who you are, Brandon. What's new?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. I don't like it.
All right. What else do you want to talk about? Did you have anything else to say about Tokyo Game Show?
No. But
Okay.
I did just see the new video of Team Coco. You remember the Conan O'Brien show and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did the new Borderlands game, and it crashed on them in the middle of their video.
Yeah, I heard that game has some issues.
Yeah, well, I mean, some issues. Yeah.
Didn't say I was going to spell them out, but yeah, no, I've heard definitely has some issues.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny. They were even like, "What the fuck?" Like, what do we do with this? It's crazy that I think that's the first that they've had to actually completely just crash on them.
Yeah, not what you want to happen when you're like demoing the game on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't wish them ill will in terms of their game. When does it come out? It's got to be coming out soon. I don't see it.
In 3 days.
I was there because I've been seeing the advertising everywhere for it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it does pretty well. Actually, too, kind of, another thought I had about Star Wars, and how well it plays. It kind of context with the conversation we had. What was it, last week? 2 weeks ago? We were talking about like performance and reviews and stuff. One thing that Digital Foundry kind of pointed out was the game, even when it was at Gamescom earlier this month, or what was it, earlier this month, or was it the end of last month? Whatever it was, recently when it was at Gamescom within the last few weeks, the performance wasn't even kind of up to par yet then. Like it definitely was like the release version was where they actually fixed it, even compared to like the demo versions that they had going around. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Because a lot of people were not very optimistic on that game until like the game came out, and then they're like, "Oh, it's fixed and it works really well." Yeah, that was actually. I think even for me, like I think that was a really interesting. I don't have a lot of interest in that game, but I think just kind of seeing what the Switch could do in terms of like comparing it between the different platforms was like super interesting. So even for people who are just kind of more casually interested in that side of things, I would recommend checking out Digital Foundry's video on Star Wars. I think it had a really nice breakdown of what Switch 2 can do and can't do and how it compares to the other systems. So, yeah, there's that. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
I think that's it for me. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you, listeners, for listening to us this week. Don't forget, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. All of our episodes are available on game-crunch.com. If you want to send us reach out to us with a message, gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon.
Hello.
Any final thoughts?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's it. My name is Mike Anastasia. Find me online on Clash of Penguin there or on your favorite gaming system. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Red light to a plastic frame, back from the vault, it's a brand new game. It's a glitch in time, a pixel crime. Virtual boys got that crimson hue, virtual fever, it's breaking through. Is it real or fake? Can't escape the ache. Throw on the visor, step in the glow. Love's in 3D, don't let it go. Virtual love is dark again. Neon hearts and the data spin. It's a red hot love, it's a binary trend. Virtual boys got me locked in. I'm a joystick fool, can't quit the screen. Living the dream in a low-res scene. Every blink's a buzz, every move's a fuzz. I'm caught in a loop, no way to save, but I'd play this forever on this beat. Game over? Nah, I'm here to stay. Step in the glow, love's in 3D, don't let it go. Is it real or fake? Can't escape the ache. Throw on the visor, step in the glow, love's in 3D, don't let it go. Love's in 3D, don't let it go. Throw on the visor, step in the glow, love's in 3D, don't let it go. It's a red hot love, it's a binary trend. Virtual boys got me locked in. Love's in 3D, don't let it go. I'm a joystick fool, can't quit the screen. Love's in 3D, don't let it spin. It's a red hot love, it's a binary trend. Virtual boys got me locked in. I'm a joystick fool, can't quit the screen. Living the dream in a low-res scene. Every blink's a buzz, every move's a fuzz. I'm caught in a loop, no way to save, but I'd play this forever all day. But I'll misbehave, game over. Nah, I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay.
This is, I don't know, probably a broadcast conversation at some point, but I've just been slowly watching the Civilization community destroy Civ 7. Like when I say destroy, I don't mean like talk bad about it, because they are talking bad about it, but like literally destroying the game. Like their recommendations for the game are basically like, stop everything that made this game unique and switch it back to the old one. And like every time, because the game, like I'm sure you've seen it before. Like games are made in a very specific way, and if you start to change certain things, it starts to kind of like de-thread like how it works. And they're starting to make changes now that are actually like decoupling the game from like its like purpose, and it's becoming less functional because of it. And I'm like, you need to stop listening to these fucking people, because they're ruining this game if you keep doing what they want you to do. Like,
yeah,
because it's like because like, for example, one thing, they have like this age system. So basically at like certain points in the game, you'll hit ages, like a crisis in the age, and it shakes things up and kind of resets things for like whatever new era that they're in. But people didn't like that it reset their money and it reset their units, even though it's supposed to be a different civilization in a different time. And so now the default setting for the game is continuity, so things carry over. The big purpose of the ages was to reset it, because if someone gets a lead in the beginning of the game, it's like Monopoly. Like you see the end coming so far away, but there's nothing you can do about it. So it's supposed to stop those kind of like runaway victories. And so now that they put in the continuity system as the default, that's not a thing anymore. And so now you can just steamroll. And if people want it there, sure, make it an option, make it a setting. The thing. Don't make it the default. Like, the fuck are you thinking? Like, it ruins like the backbone you've built for this game. And some of the other stuff that people are asking for, I'm like, you will actually like destroy this game. It's just wild it's just wild watching a developer just completely like tail between their legs, just kowtow to a community. To the detriment of their own game. Like, I if they continue down this path, like Civ 7, I really like Civ 7, they're going to ruin it like completely, and they're going to make it a horrible game. That's my soapbox for Civ 7.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I was because I follow him in the Reddit. Like, I follow the Civ Reddit, and I was like, you know what, I should leave this Reddit because I'm like, it makes me angry every time I see like these comments from people, and then I'm like, but then how am I gonna stay up to date in the game because I don't really follow them anywhere else. So I'm like, no, I'll keep it for now. But like every time I look at it and see the things that they're bitching about, I'm like, no, this is a dumb idea, and you're gonna ruin this game. And I'm sorry you don't like it, but there are people that do. And either just buckle up and play the game as it is, or go back to Civ 6. Like, don't, like, this is not Civ 6. Like, stop trying to make it Civ 6.